guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a DIY using this Dollar Tree little trinket box. So let's get started with the supplies. So what you're going to need for this DIY is one of these trinket boxes that I picked up at Dollar Tree. It is ceramic and you can use as many as you want. I'm going to be doing one. I've already DIY'd 3 of these. This will be my 4th. And then you're also going to need one of these cake decorating kits here from Dollar Tree. Now we're not going to be actually using the piping bag, but we are going to be using one of the tips in here. And we can use either this tip or this tip. And we're also going to need a big size Ziploc bag because I do not have any piping bags. So we're going to be using this. We're also going to be using some spackle, and I got this lightweight spackle at Dollar Tree as well. Then Dollar Tree has these paint pens here. They're for glass and ceramic. I could only find this one, and I've already used it all up, so I don't have that much left in this one, in this marker here. So I went to Walmart and I bought a Sharpie that's oil-based. So you can use whatever you want. You can go buy a Sharpie like this, oil-based, or if you can find these, I prefer these actually from Dollar Tree because you bake them in the oven once you put them on your ceramic and they stay on there. You can wash them. With this, you cannot. So just letting you know. So I couldn't find any more of these at Dollar Tree. They have different colors, but I only found this one black one. So I bought a Sharpie, a pink Sharpie, and we'll get more into detail about the care for your DIY once you're done with it. So get whatever colors you want. I have a red one as well here. And then we're also going to be needing some paint. I have this melted chocolate from Apple Barrel and a piece of cardboard. And what else do we need? Any embellishments that you may want to add to your DIY. And what I'm going to show you is this is what we're going to be making is this little guy right here. So whatever embellishments you want, you can use a straw if you want, or candy corn. I have candy corn there, or even Dollar Tree sells like these beads here. We can put those as sprinkles. And I got this color, this fallish colors. I like the colors on these. Or you can also use some cinnamon powder. We're also going to be needing nail polish remover. You can also use this paint, the puffy paint from Dollar Tree, which I used for this one here. So this is going to be a really easy and quick DIY. So let's get started with this DIY here. So we're also going to need some of these styrofoam balls from Dollar Tree. And I do have some of these bowls that I purchased at Dollar Tree. And so basically, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove our little rooster from our ceramic little trinket box. So we're using the nail polish remover, which is 100% acetone. And this is also from Dollar Tree. And this will come right off. And I forgot to get a cotton swab, but I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of napkin because that'll work just as fine. All right, so I grabbed my napkin here. You can use a napkin, a paper towel, or you can use cotton swab. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to go ahead and put acetone on my paper towel here. And then I'm just going to take off the rooster. That's how simple it is, you guys. See? Just like that. It came right off. Now, if you don't want to take off the rooster, you don't have to. You can just leave it on and use the other side to it. So, and then you can always turn it around and then use it what it's intended for, you know, with the rooster there. Or you can turn it around and then use it like what we're going to do for it. So, okay, so now I made sure I cleaned that up really well. This is I'm redoing this all over again because I had did that fail and I wasn't going to add all that in so you guys to make the video long. So I had to redo this DIY. Okay, so now with the other one, that what I did was I used my glass paintbrush pen. This is from Dollar Tree and it works great. So, you know, they didn't have any more. So these are kind of hard to come by. And they have different colors ones too. And I had seen them before, all the different colors, and I never picked them up. I wanted to because I knew I had this in mind, but I was like, I'll get them next time. Well, you know how it goes with Dollar Tree. Next time comes around and it's gone. So I was lucky enough to find one of the black ones, but that was it. I can't find any more. So hopefully you guys can find these. These work awesome. But if not, then you can always go to like Hobby Lobby, Michael's to buy them. They have them there. You just won't pay $1 for them, but they do work great. You put your image on and you bake them, and then you can wash them and it won't come off. Now with the Sharpie, this one is oil based, or you know, just regular Sharpie. You can't wash them because they will come off. Now this says it won't, but I don't know. I don't trust it. So, you know, I like the one where you can actually bake it in. And when you go to bake it, make sure you take off the sticker from the bottom. So since I'm not baking this one, I'm just, you know, I'm going to leave the sticker. It doesn't bother me. So this part is the easy part. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to grab your pen. Let me grab my pen here. And keep a little napkin, a little wet napkin next to you in case you mess up your face, that like this guy here. All right, so what I did was when I did my little eyes here, I went ahead and I tried to measure them as best as I can, try to get to the center, measure this and this here, and then I put a little dot so I knew that that was the center, and then I did my eyes, you know, according to the center. Now they're not perfect, and I'm not an artist, so I'm just, you know, this is just a little fun DIY. So I got the inspiration from these little ceramic marshmallows that everybody has. And I've seen everybody have, you know, on Instagram, on YouTube. My daughter has some. And so I thought, you know what, when I seen this, I thought, oh my God, I could turn that into one of those little marshmallows. So that was my inspiration. But the eyes and the mouth, it's not going to be perfect. I mean, I'm not an artist. So what I did was I grabbed my paint pen and then I just painted on there a thick line. Then I grabbed my wet Q-tip and then I went over it to thin out the line however I wanted it. And then when I got it to the way I want it, then I would just leave it alone, dry around the area, and then I baked it. If you are not using these type of pens that you bake, then you just do your face and then let it dry, and then just, you know, you don't have to do anything else to it. All right, let me just show you guys what I'm talking about. Let me open up this pen. I have never used these Sharpie pens, the paint pens, the oil-based ones, so we'll see how this works. So I do, you know what, and with this, I have my acetone still right here next to me, just in case I don't like the way something comes out, then I can erase it. Okay, so that's what it looks like, as you guys can see. I guess the black comes out once you start putting it on there. I don't know. So, okay, so you know what? You can use this as a guide, like this popsicle stick that I have. And I'm just going to use that in the center. And that way I can guide myself. Oh, what the heck? How is this supposed to... Okay, there it is. I didn't do anything to it. When I closed it, it just turned black. So, okay, let's do this again. So I'm going to go ahead and use my popsicle stick. Now, these are the medium-sized popsicle sticks that Dollar Tree has. They have the small, thin ones, and then they have this size, and then they have the bigger ones. These are like the tongue depressors is what they use, you know. So I'm going to go ahead and use this guy here. Excuse me. And I'm going to just put it in the center, just for me, for my purposes, just to guide myself. You don't have to do this. You can do yours however is easiest for you. And then I'm just going to do my eyes. I'm going to do my lines for my eyes. Ah, you see how I screwed up right there? But I have my, let me see. I'm just making my lines a little thicker. All right, that's not even, as you guys can tell. That is not even at all. But it's okay because I am going to come in here with the acetone. Oh gosh, and this really does stick, you guys. I could feel it. It's sticking on there. All right, I want to show you I'm not an artist, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and grab a little bit of the acetone. I'm going to make a little, if you have a Q-tip, I would recommend using a Q-tip better, but I don't want to run upstairs to go grab one. So I'm just going to use a tip of this, and then I'm just going to start shaping. Oh yeah, see, it comes off. And then just shape your eyes however you want to do yours. I took some of the images that I seen on Pinterest of some of these little guys, and I applied them to these little ceramic guys here. Some of you guys are a natural. I am unfortunately not a natural. So I'm just going to keep on doing this until I get it to how I like it. And if you screw up, then just go ahead and get the acetone and remove it all completely. And start all over again. So I like the way that, you know what, let me go grab a Q-tip to show you guys. I have my Q-tip here. Let me just, and I'm going to tell you guys right now that if you're using acetone, don't use it on your table, because if this falls onto your table, it will ruin it. It will eat up at the wood. So use a surface, like put a mat down or something, a surface that you don't mind, you know, getting damaged, because if acetone falls on it, acetone will eat up your furniture, your wood furniture. Okay, so see, I'm just going around and then just cleaning up my lines here. And then, you know, I'll get the dry side and then I'll dry it up right there. And then I'll just keep doing this until I get it to how I like it. If I say, like, if I went too far and I erased a little more of the lines, then I just come back with the Sharpie and I just add the line until this is just getting it, you know, to how you like it. You know, it's just playing with this until you get it to your liking. I'm not an artist, so for me, this takes a little time, as you guys can see, and the acetone just takes it right off. So, okay, let's just say we have the eyes how we want it. And then I grabbed my pink Sharpie, and then I just did a little mouth, a little happy face, and then like a little teardrop in an angle to do the little tongue. And then I just did the little dots for the cheeks. And then I did the eyelashes just up like that. Now this little topper was a fail for me because I had used real sprinkles and they bled through, and I had to take them off and it dented them, and you can see the different color. Ooh. So this one was a fail, this little topper, but that's okay. I'm going to show you how I do the other topper. This one right here. If you wanted to add chocolate like here, then first bake this. Once this cools completely, then you can use your paint and paint it onto your ceramic, which is all I did, was just paint it. As you can see, it's all I did is paint my ceramic on there with that. And then I'm also painted the lid. Where's the lid? Right here. And I didn't paint the inside of the lid in case you wanted to store like candies or something in there. And in case you don't want the mug topper on there, you can just always add the lid like that, see? But you don't want to paint this and then put it in the oven. No, 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 no. Do the face in the oven first, and then you would paint it. But if you're using the pins to bake. But if not, then just like if you're using these oil-based Sharpies, you just do your face, clean it up, and then leave it alone. Okay, so I'm gonna finish this one right here. Probably make it look like that. You can see that one. There's that one. These are so simple, very, very simple, you guys. And then we're gonna do the mug topper next. All right, so here is what the little face looks like. As you guys can see, it's not perfect, but I like it. So that's all that matters, as long as you like your crafts. So now we're gonna do our little topper. So for this isn't like your normal toppers. People make their mug toppers, and you know, their mugs are obviously flat like this. This actually has this raised part here. So this one we have to make a little different. So I was thinking, I was like, how can I come up with the topper to cover this part? So I just grabbed any cardboard box that you have, like a cereal box. My son had ordered something, so he had this thin box that he was going to throw away. So I just went ahead and I used that. But what I did was I grabbed the lid and I turned it upside down and I traced it, and then I cut that out. Then I cut a strip, a long strip, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make my own lid. So I cut the strip, I put it on the top part here, and I just was holding it down, like I hold it down one, and then I just bend it all the way around. If you can think of a better way to do this, then, you know, by all means do that. See, now it goes all the way around. And what I did is I grabbed one of those Sharpies and I went around and I drew a line inside like this, and then that's where I cut. Now you can also put this around like this, and then wherever you want, just cut around with your scissors in here, the lip. You see how that looks? The lip is in there like that. And then what we're going to do is very carefully, we're going to go ahead and glue our lid, our circle, right on here. So let me show you guys. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and add some glue. I'm using the glue gun. You can use, you know, other types of glues. Be very careful if you're using the glue gun. This is how I'm doing it. Again, if there's other ways that you can, you know, do this, then by all means, please do that. But I'm just going to go ahead and add some glue on the circle. I'm going to go, you know, little bit by little bit. And I'm just going to add my hold that right in the edge, as you guys can see right there, right? It's right at the edge. Again, be careful not to burn yourself. And then once you have it like on the edge, and what you can do too is I have this piece of wax paper. You can set it on the wax paper so it doesn't, it won't stick to the wax paper. And then just go around on the outer part. See how it's coming off? But I'm just gonna go on the outer part of my circle. I'm just gonna go all the way around. It doesn't have to look beautiful. Nobody's gonna see that. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and add that on there. Then you can glue, just hold on to it. See how I did just like a little lid here? So I'm letting this dry, and then I'll just see how it just comes right off. You take the peel off and it comes right off when you use the wax paper. But it's still a little wet. But if like all this extra over of the glue, you can just, once this dries, you can just grab the scissors and just cut it off if it really bothers you. We're going to cover it anyways. You're not going to see it, but you can cut that off. And then basically we have our little lid. You see that? So that's what we're going to do for the lid. Now, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. You can just do the little circle on top. And if this doesn't bother you, then you could just leave it like that. Or you can just add ribbon around here. But I want a little lid on there so I can cover that part. So again, that is up to you if you want to do this little lid or not. You don't have to. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make our fake frosting to frost our mug topper. So I have my paper or my plastic bowl here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use white acrylic paint and the light spackle from Dollar Tree. The measurements, I can't give you how much paint I put in there. I just put enough to make it look white. And then we're going to use, okay, so before I open this, I'm going to show you guys. They always come like this. You have these 4 tips here. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use a second tip, as you guys can see. I don't think it has numbers on there. No, but I'm going to show you guys. See, I'm going to use this tip right here so you guys can see the second one. So I'm going to go ahead and add my spackle in this little bowl here because it's hard to mix it in here. And then I'm going to add my paint, and then I'm just going to mix it and get it to the color that I want. I don't have a piping bag, but if you have a piping bag, I think that using a piping bag works best. Now this, you guys, I am still practicing on the mug toppers. I'm not a professional on that. There are many, many tutorials on how to do this. I'm still learning, so just be patient with me because I'm not a professional. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one of the corners of this big bag here, and then I'm going to snip it, and then I'm going to add my tip right there. See, there's the one, it doesn't have a number on there, but it's the second one, as you guys can see. So I'm going to snip a little bit here of the corner, and then I'm going to put that in my bag here, right there, like that. There it is. Now, if I feel that it's too, like it's gonna rip open, I mean, this fits fine. What I normally do, even if I know it's not gonna rip open, just for me, my purposes, for my security purposes, that sometimes when you squeeze too hard, especially these bags, they'll rip open. I just go ahead and grab a little bit of tape, and I tape the tip onto the bag, just to reassure me that it's not going to move and not go anywhere. All right, and then I'll just go ahead and put this in a tall, like, cup like this. That way it makes it easier to scoop once I get this done. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my spackle, and I'm going to put it all in here. And this smells, so you guys have a fan on or a window open. You don't want to be smelling these fumes. And then I'm just going to go ahead and add some white paint. And then I'm just going to mix this guy. You could see a slight tint to it, like a grayish tint to this spackle. I know they sell some spackle that is specifically made for like fake frosting. So you can look into that. And I believe they sell it at Walmart as well, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm just going to keep on adding white until I get it to the color that I want. And then I'm going to add the remainder of this. So you don't want to add too much because you don't want it to end up getting like really runny on you. That was one of my fails from when I first did this DIY. I put too much paint. And then, you know, also what you can do, I mean, you have to add a little bit of paint to soften this spackle because it's too hard. But if you don't want to add too much, you don't have to. Don't worry about it. Just put enough on there to make it soft and pliable. And then when it dries, you can go back and paint it, which is what I did with this one. As you guys can see, I painted with white, and then I just drizzled the brown paint over it to make it look like chocolate. Okay, I think that should be all right. Let me bring my cup over. I'm going to go ahead now and drop it all in there. So there it is, and I think I should use more, but that's fine. All right, so let me bring this over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way forward to the corner here. Trying to get as much of the air bubbles as you can out, because I see a whole bunch in there. All right, so what we're gonna do is, oh, I forgot to tell you too, with that styrofoam ball, cut that in half, and that way you don't waste too much of the spackle. I'm just gonna go ahead and glue it in the center of my circle here. Like that. That way we don't waste too much of the spackle on there. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go around here. Let me show you guys. That makes it hard, you guys. Sorry, you guys. It's hard for me to show you guys. All right. Okay, so we're just going to go all the way around. And then just start going all the way around. Just go round and round. Hope you guys can see. Okay, there's that part of the mug topper, right? Now I'm gonna go over here to the bottom and then just cover the bottom here. Now it's not gonna be perfect. I'm not a professional. Just letting you guys know. I'm just going all the way around here. Trying to cover as much as I can. Just move your paper around. I forgot to tell you to put it on your wax paper. Just keep moving your paper around. Okay, so there it is, okay? So I'm just gonna go now again and try to clean up some of these lines here. So there's some people that know how to make this really well and make it look so easy. I'm not a professional, so that way you guys know that I am not, you know, this is like, I'm still practicing on these mug toppers. And yes, this is a homemade DIY, so it's not going to be perfect. So I'm going to pick the side that looks the best. I don't know which one looks the best, but I'm going to now go ahead and you can add your sprinkles at this point if you want. I'm going to add this candy corn. This is candy corn that I've had on here forever. So I'm going to go ahead and add a candy corn right at the top. Add a couple of them, just like that. This is real candy corn, but it's old candy corn that I've had there. And you can sprinkle some cinnamon if you want. I have these beads here that I picked up at Dollar Tree. I will tell you, do not use real sprinkles. That's what I did with this one. And they started to bleed really bad, so don't use real sprinkles. But you can use fake sprinkles. Like these, as you can see, these look really pretty, these colors. Let me see. You know what? Let me go grab some cinnamon. Maybe I'll put some cinnamon on here. All right. So here's this cinnamon here. This is also from Dollar Tree. You can add a little bit of cinnamon, glitter, whatever you want to yours. So, okay, I added some cinnamon to mine. I think I went a little overboard with the cinnamon. But now, if you wanted to add a straw into it, now would be the time while it's wet to add the straw. I don't know if this straw might be too big. Let me see. It might be because we have that, we have the, what do you call that? The styrofoam inside there. So we might want to cut this a little smaller. Hold on, let me cut this a little smaller. All right, so here is the small little straw. We can just go ahead and put it right in like that. You see that? Just like that. And I could feel it. It hit the styrofoam. So now I'm going to let this dry. Again, you guys, I am not a professional. I am just letting you guys know I'm still learning how to make these mug toppers. They're not coming out beautiful, but you know what? Practice makes perfect. So if you wanted to add like the drizzle of chocolate, let this dry for 24 hours and then add your little drizzle. All right. So now I'm doing a square one, as you guys can see. And I'm using a different tip. Now I'm using the third tip down, which looks more like a star. So, and this is just a flat. So we'll see how this comes out. Still kind of looks like a similar tip, but there's that one. As you guys can see, I'm still learning and they're not perfect. You know, again, practice makes perfect. So I wanted to show you guys this step. Even though they're not perfect, I still wanted to show you, but there are many, many, many tutorials out there on how to do these. So when your little marshmallows are dry, they should look like this. So mine are still, my little mug toppers are still drying. Look at this one right here. I did this one, it's still wet. Let me get a close-up of it. Here's this one, and all it is, that little styrofoam ball that's up here is from the vase filler from Dollar Tree. And then I just added the beads on there, and then I just sprinkled a little bit of cinnamon on top, but from a distance, from way at the top, I just dusted a little so not so much comes out like this one here. Let me show you guys. That one I kind of dusted a little too much, as you can see right there, but it's okay. I'm still learning. So once those dry, then you can just go ahead, see how this one has the little lip on there? You can just use it as a mug topper. Now, to add the chocolate, all you do is you just grab your paint and you just drizzle it over. And then to paint this, obviously, you just get a little paintbrush and paint the brown, like chocolate, onto your ceramic. And that is our little marshmallow, guys. Those were so easy to make. It just takes a little patience, but they are very, very simple to make. Now, since we still have time, that was a quick DIY. I wanted to do another quick DIY, and this is really simple. So basically, you're gonna get one of these little clear plastic ornaments, and then you're just gonna take off the little top here. And then again, I've had these candy corns in here for a long time. They're old. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put them inside my little ornament, my clear ornament here. I do have my Halloween tree that's candy, basically like a candy corn theme. And so I want to add these to my tree. Just a little something really, really simple that can add so much to your tree. You can fill this all the way to the top if you want. I don't want it too heavy, but I just want enough in there. Then you put your little topper back on. Okay, just like that. And if you want, you can write something in the back with your Cricut, but I'm gonna leave it just as is. And then you can also use, say, if you wanted to glue down a little bow on here, you can do that. You can, let's see, just make a regular little bow. That's all I'm doing here. It's just a regular bow, like when you tie your shoes. Basically, that's all I'm doing. See? And then you can just glue it on there like this if you want, or you can just add glue to this like this all the way around, and then glue it like that. And that's it. The cute little bow, cute little ornament for your Halloween tree, just like that. Simple, simple, simple. Let's do one more easy DIY. All right, so for the next DIY, we're going to be doing these adorable little Mickey Mouse picks, and I already did this one to show you guys how just to show you guys a sample. But what we're going to be using is the 3-pack of pumpkins from Dollar Tree, like this. They have the clips like this. And then we're going to use the 4-pack of little pumpkins that Dollar Tree has. And then as far as straws, I picked these straws up at the 99-cent store. Then I already had one of these little skewers here. And then you can also use ribbon if you want. We're gonna need some paint. I'm using this Waverly chalk paint in the color pumpkin, and glue gun, a paintbrush. Where's my paintbrush? Right here. And that's it. So to save time, I already painted my pumpkins, the little pumpkins here. And the way I painted them was I kept the wire on them and I painted them, but I pulled off the stem. You pull off the stem and then you can paint the whole entire pumpkin. Once it dries, then I put the stem back in. And so that's what I did with the little ones. And I also did it with the big one, because if you can tell, look at the difference in the color. Same thing with these pumpkins here. You can tell the difference in the color. So I did the same thing. I popped off the stem and I painted, but I saved this part so I could show you guys. So when I was painting it, I was holding it like this and just doing my painting. But this is just like a little pick that's in there, see, just like that. And I just took that off, and then I'll paint down here. Once it's dry up here, I'll paint underneath there. And I just grab a little bit of the chalk paint, and I just go ahead and I paint. If there's any color that, you know, I missed, then I just go ahead and I color it right there. I paint it, I mean, not color it. I just paint it. And I did pretty good actually with this one, because I got way underneath while this was still, as you can see. But it was just a little bit that was still of that orange color there. Now you can also use this color here, the Harvest Orange. This is from Apple Barrel. I'm just trying to get these done fast so you guys can see. Just give you guys the idea. I've seen this idea on Pinterest, so that's why I had to recreate it. I loved it so much, and I'm gonna put these on my Halloween tree. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my glue gun here. I have my glue gun, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my skewer and the pointy side of it, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in the bottom. And it's already got the hole there, so I'm just gonna go right in there where the hole is at, right there. I'm not worried about gluing it right now. Now with your little pumpkins, they already have the wires, these little wires on there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut some of that down. I'm gonna cut my little wires down. I'm gonna leave a little bit exposed, like this, as you guys can see. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and stick it into the side of the pumpkin. Let's see, right there's one. I'm gonna glue them down too, just so you guys see, so they don't come off, popping off. So I'm trying to get this as straight as I possibly can and even. Let me see. Okay. So right there like that, as you guys can see. And then now that I have them on there, I'm gonna go ahead and add the glue to my little wire on the pumpkin here. And then I'm gonna go back to where I had that hole. Where did I leave it at? Right there. And then I'm just gonna hold that down. I'm just gonna hold it just for a few seconds. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same to the other. These are so easy and really cute. We took a picture at Disneyland with the big pumpkin Mickey like this. And so when I seen this idea on Instagram is where I saw it, I thought it was such a cute idea, and it just reminded me of when we went to Disneyland, so I figured we could do that. I mean, I would do this DIY because it just reminded me so much of that. But anyway, so at this point, you're done. If you want to just keep it with the skewer, or you can just add ribbon and glue the ribbon all the way down if you wanted to. Or what I did was I just added some glue right here, and then I grabbed the straw and I just stuck the straw right through the skewer like this, and then I have it like that. Okay, so these are my very easy DIYs, and anybody can do these. And I ended up taking off the straw on this one. I just like the plain skewer on there. And so I'm gonna put these as picks on my tree. The DIY that I did see for this, they had it in a little like terracotta pot, but I like them better as picks. So that's gonna go on my tree. All right, so let's talk about the care of your little marshmallows. So if you are using the Dollar Tree ceramic paint pens, which I highly recommend if you see them, then you can wash these. If you do not have those and you're using just the regular Sharpie, you cannot wash your little marshmallows because the paint will come off. Now, the paint pins, the ceramic ones from Dollar Tree, it says to bake it at, it tells you on the package on what to set your oven in for how long. So it's 30 minutes, and I believe it was it 165? I think it was. I don't remember, but I know my oven didn't go that low. It went up to, I think, 175, and I used that setting, and I did it for 30 minutes, and this is on there. The Sharpie, however, I don't know. I won't take a chance and wash this because it does have the Sharpie here. The Sharpie oil base, I don't know if it washes off or not. It may not wash off as easy as just a regular Sharpie, but I'm not going to take a chance on washing these. So that will be up to you. Know that if you use paint, like I did here, that will wash off with water. So again, just to recap, you do not want to put your paint and then put that in the oven. First, use your Sharpie and your paint pin, the ceramic paint pin that they sell at Dollar Tree. That goes in the oven. And I wouldn't put the oil base one in there. It doesn't say to put it in the oven. So just put the ceramic one, the paint pin, the ceramic one from Dollar Tree in the oven. And make sure you take your sticker off. So that is my DIY. I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY. And the more you practice, the better you'll get. So I want to thank you for watching. And I'm going to show you once these dry, I'm going to put them on here and I'll show you guys what they look like complete. All right, so I wanted to show you guys. So as you guys can see, this one here, I didn't do the lid, and as you can see, this is what it would look like if you decided not to do a little lid. So I made this topper just for a regular mug, so I need to make an extra one for this little marshmallow guy. But I wanted to show you guys what it looks like. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.